I wrote a little song to remind you, Choice Hotels get you more of the experiences you value. The Cambria Hotel's got it all. A rooftop bar, have a ball. Bring a date, your squad, or even your mom. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Hello and good morning. Welcome to The Morning Five. I'm your host, Michael Ware, President and CEO of the Center for Christianity and Public Life. Today is Monday, June 29th. I'll begin with a reading from Judges 7. The Lord said to Gideon, "The people with you are too many for me to give to the Midianites into their hand, lest Israel boast over me, saying, 'My own hand has saved me.' Now, therefore, proclaim in the ears of the people, saying, 'Whoever is fearful and trembling, let him return home, and hurry away from Mount Gilead.' Then 22,000 of the people returned, and 10,000 remained. And the Lord said to Gideon, 'The people are still too many. Take them down to the water, and I will test them for you there. And any one of whom I say to you, this one shall go with you, shall go with you. And any one of whom I say to you, this one shall not go with you, shall not go.' So he brought the people down to the water. And the Lord said to Gideon, 'Everyone who laps the water with his tongue, as a dog laps, you shall set by himself. Likewise, everyone who kneels down to drink.' And the number of those who lapped, putting their hands to their mouths, was 300 men. But all the rest of the people knelt down to drink water. And the Lord said to Gideon, 'With the 300 men who lapped I will save you, and give the Midianites into your hand, and let all the others go every man to his home.' So the people took provisions in their hands and their trumpets. And he sent all the rest of Israel every man to his tent, but retained the 300 men. And the camp of Midian was below him in the valley. That same night the Lord said to him, 'Arise, go down against the camp, for I have given it into your hand.'" May God bless the reading of his word. Well, friends, thanks for joining today. I hope you had a great weekend, and glad to be with you for the Morning Five. Let's catch up on the news together. First up, a devastating pair of earthquakes near Venezuela has left at least 1,500 people dead, thousands injured, and many more still trapped under rubble as authorities there are struggling to respond to the disaster. Nearly 200 buildings collapsed due to the earthquakes last Wednesday, with hundreds more damaged. The earthquakes registered as magnitude 7.2 and 7.5. Hundreds of aftershocks have affected Venezuela, and many people are staying outdoors as they fear further building collapses. We're praying for the people of Venezuela, aid organizations, and first responders as they work to rescue people who are still trapped under rubble. Next up, the Trump administration requested $87.6 billion in an emergency funding package last week, with $67 billion of that for the Pentagon. The money would go toward costs of the Iran war, replenishing weapons supplies, fuel, and other military programs. The request also includes funding for responding to the Ebola outbreak, several construction projects, and money for farmers. Top Democrats didn't sound open to supporting the legislation. Senator Patty Murray said, quote, "This request is not merely meant to pay for the president's disastrous war, but an attempt to secure tens of billions of additional dollars for unrelated Pentagon priorities that should rightly be considered through the annual appropriations process." Last for today's quick updates, the Supreme Court last week ruled against a Rastafarian man named Damon Landor, who sued prison guards in Louisiana for violating his religious freedom by shaving his head while he was detained. Landor had not cut his hair for 20 years as part of his Rastafarian faith. We've included a link in the show notes to an article by former CCPL Public Life Fellow Daniel Bennett, professor at John Brown University, who wrote in Christianity Today about the case's outcome, which he believes is, quote, "discouraging for those seeking more robust religious expression protections under the First Amendment." With that, let's get into today's main story on a different SCOTUS decision. Late last week, the Supreme Court decided that the Trump administration is legally able to deport immigrants from Haiti and Syria who have been living in the United States under temporary protected status due to dangerous conditions in their home countries. The Supreme Court ruled that ending temporary protected status is a decision that rests with the executive branch and is not subject to judicial review. If the administration proceeds with the deportations, it will be painting a very different picture of those countries than the U.S. State Department, which has shared code red travel advisories for the two countries, saying Haiti is in a national state of emergency and unsafe, and that Americans should not visit Syria for any reason. I'll read briefly from that Christianity Today report, which is by the journalist Harvest Prude, who's one of our fellows at the Center for Christianity and Public Life this year. Harvest writes, around 330,000 Haitians reside in the country under temporary protected status. The program allows foreign nationals to remain in the United States if their home countries are deemed unsafe for return due to crises like war or natural disaster. Haitians were first granted the designation in the wake of their country's horrific earthquake in 2010. The federal government extended TPS, that's temporary protected status, for Haitians after subsequent emergencies, including the 2021 assassination of Haiti's president and endemic gang violence that fueled a further exodus from the Caribbean nation. Syrians became eligible for TPS in 2012 during a civil war and the brutal regime of Bashar al-Assad. The country has struggled since, and around 3,900 Syrians now face legal uncertainty. The Supreme Court's decision will likely affect more than just Haitian and Syrian TPS holders. Last year, there were just under 1.3 million TPS recipients from 17 countries in the United States, according to the nonpartisan Congressional Research Service. So far, Trump has ended TPS for recipients from Venezuela and Honduras. Other countries with protections that will expire soon include Salvadorans and Ukrainians. Now, the Supreme Court's decision was 6-3, holding that courts cannot, quote, review or enforce the administration's management of TPS. Justice Elena Kagan wrote a dissent taking issue with the Department of Homeland Security's lack of consultation on the decision within the government and its seeming lack of evaluation of country conditions before terminating TPS status. After today, a secretary can announce to the world that she didn't consult with anyone, more that she didn't evaluate country conditions at all before making, extending, or terminating a TPS designation, Kagan wrote, and the courts will be powerless to intervene. Now let's stop there for today and go to the Lord in prayer. Dear Father, always near us, may your name be treasured and loved. May your rule be completed in us. May your will be done here on earth in just the way it is done in heaven. Give us today the things we need today, and forgive us our sins and impositions on you, as we are forgiving all who in any way offend us. Please don't put us through trials, but deliver us from everything bad, because you are the one in charge, and you have all the power, and the glory too is all yours forever, which is just the way we want it. All right, friends, thank you for joining me today. As always, The Morning Five is brought to you in partnership with the That Sounds Fun Network, supported by the Center for Christianity and Public Life. If you'd like to learn more about our work at CCPL, you can visit ccpubliclife.org. Hope you have a magnificent Monday.